Yeah. What's going on, y'all, man? Welcome back to another Top Talk with TK Breezy. I'm TK Breezy, and we're going to talk about what y'all want to talk about today because obviously there wasn't something I actually want to talk about. This wasn't even a topic that was like fully said, but a lot happened over this weekend, so I'll be talking to you about it today. Let us go ahead and get into our first topic. This is from Breezy saying Tinder app or chicken tender, right? So we had this whole discussion a while ago. Do you say Tinder like the app the same way that you say Tinder when you say chicken tender? I feel like I do, okay? Like, I'm like, can I get one chicken tender? And then, oh, I'm about to swipe on Tinder. Is that not the same inflection? I feel like I say it the same way. I don't know about y'all, but I feel like I say it the same way. Let me know in the comments below if you do say it the same way or not. That was definitely like a large discussion in the house for a while. I feel like the way that it was said to me was that they were saying like Tinder, that's Tinder the app, and then like tender for chicken tender. I don't know, bro. I feel like I say it the same way. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I was like, oh, I'm about to swipe on Tinder. Oh, let me get a chicken tender. I'm about to swipe on Tinder. Let me get a chicken tender. I feel like I'm saying it. I don't know. Whatever. I could be even saying it different. Maybe I'm not noticing it myself. Tinder. I don't know. Chicken tender. Chicken tender app. All right. Well, the way it was said to me was basically like, they were saying two different things. Like, oh, I'm about to swipe on Tinder and let me get some chicken tenders. Like, nigga. I don't know, bro. Anyway, that's gonna be a discussion to be had. Moving forward, though, we got Zent saying, "What are your thoughts on the strikes happening all over the country? It's very empowering, motivating to see people stand up. 4.3 million people quit their jobs in August, and now 100K on strike. You love to see it." First of all, I didn't know that was happening. Second, I don't know if it's a love to see it moment, because right now I feel like, look, I get it that like striking will usually send a big message, right, to people. Striking will send a big message to people for sure, right? But we're still like somewhat in a pandemic type situation where like money is hard to kind of come by for people. So I think it's good to like show solidarity, but like, damn, I do kind of worry about those people. And I hope that these strikes definitely work out in the way where like there is reform and there's reform within like work safety, work conditions, and everything that people are striking for in general. But I don't know, just as a person, as a freelancer, I'm very lucky that like I have, Twitch, and then I have commentary. But during the pandemic, there was like literally no commentary to be done. So like even during the pandemic, there was way less commentary to be done, but near the beginning, there really wasn't much. And so even I kind of felt the sting of like not having as much of a job as I usually did. And that kind of sucks, man. So I'd imagine like if you're working a 9 to 5 and like you just kind of jumped out, like it's got to be even more stressful right now. So I'm hoping that like, that these strikes definitely go in the way that they should, because obviously, you strike for a reason. You don't strike just to go back to work after and nothing has really changed. Although we'll be talking about that a little later because commentators are scabs. Anyway, Frozen Pizza says the first Nick All-Stars Brawl Major and what it means for the future of the game. First Nick All-Stars Brawl Major was actually pretty dope. I think currently that we definitely need Steam Decks. We need Steam Decks because that game runs shittily as hell on the Switch, and I don't want to continue to sit around and watch that 9-minute 9-minute load screen between every match. So we need Steam Decks or instant rematch or something, because those load times were something else. So we're gonna go ahead and definitely get this game off the ground, though. I feel like with the developer support, that's great. If you can run, I think Rivals usually runs on PC, so if you can run Rivals on PCs and stuff like that, then you can definitely run Nick All-Stars Brawl on PCs too. So might need a little more hardware to bring to the tournament, but we can definitely make that happen. I mean, Brawlhalla's been doing it forever. Rivals been doing it forever. You know, ain't no reason why we can't just include Nick All-Stars Brawl and all those rival setups as well or something like that. So, yeah, I like the game. It's definitely very fun, and there's a patch out, so we'll be playing it later today. This, for the YouTube people, obviously, this means nothing to you, but for the people watching the stream right now, we're definitely going to play it later today. So, yeah, game's dope. It's been mad fun. Marcel Deschelle says, I'm curious, as someone who's got their feet into a lot of other platform fighters, what's been your experience working with devs and companies for tournaments? It's been great. Like, straight up, like all the companies that I've ever worked with, I've worked with Rivals slightly. Brawlhalla's treated me well. I did Rushdown Revolt and Icons. Both of them paid well. Unfortunate, you know, for Icons that it kind of like went out and away. But it's been great. I mean, like, it's just nice to, like, developers who care about their games are great. And then when they don't care about them games, well, if we care about the game enough, that's also great too. So it's coming from Smash. I think any type of developer support is like, wow, that's a godsend. But like, the real thing is Smash not getting developer support is like really the anomaly here. And I feel like a lot of times Smash kind of like sees that as like the norm, and it's really not the norm. Like, companies support their games all the time. You know what I mean? It's just for some reason Nintendo's not on that same wave. But at the same time, we've been, you know, managing to make it work the whole time regardless. So hey, power to us, right? So, but it's great. I love it. I really appreciate the companies that have reached out. I mean, I worked with Rocket League as well too, and yeah, I really appreciate those companies that have that like really listen to their community and show love for their game on the competitive side of things. Colin, we got a rat in GA tweets, Colin Powell died of COVID. Rest in peace, Colin Powell. Very historic figure. Definitely unfortunate circumstances of how he went. But hey, man, I'm about to say thoughts and prayers. I hate that, but you know, thoughts with his family. And I hope that they're, you know, getting their time to grieve, and that, you know, getting their affairs in order for. Most likely, he's gonna have a pretty big funeral, I believe. So, yeah, condolences for sure. Rasta Pasta says, with the release of Sora, we're at the end of DLC and potentially patches for the game. I'd love to hear your take on the state of Smash characters. Right now, I think the last patch, I haven't got a chance to look at it, but from looking at Twitter, it seems like a lot of people are saying that it's a pretty decent patch. I think right now, this is where the game truly starts, right? Like I feel as though whatever it is about Smash 4, it left a bad taste in people's mouths when it comes to like patches, because the last patch that we got did not fix that busted ass character they gave us right at the end of the game, which definitely ruined the whole legacy of 4. 4 was dope until Bayonetta ruined the game, basically. I don't care what anyone says, man. Like, I know people are like love to shit on older games and whatever. Like, that's just the fun of the Smash community. When I was playing 4 was fun, and then Bayonetta ruined the game, and then that's all people remember, right? And so Ultimate also having a fun time playing that. Hopefully Sora doesn't ruin the game. I've seen some Twitter combos, but they're all fake so far. But you know, I don't know. We'll see. Maybe Sora ends up not even being that good, and now it's just time to, like, you know, play. It's in melee mode, as Astro said. There's no more updates. We just got to figure out the game the way it is. We may get like one extra update, who knows, just to fix anything that may be out of whack with the Sora release. But after that, I'm sure we're not getting much after that. You know? So right now, I'm pretty excited to see what people come up with. Now that there's no looking forward to, man, I can't wait till they fix this character. There's no more fixing the character, bro. You just play with what you got. So, yeah. And then we got Mr. Now or Never saying, can we get a short recap of SmashCon? SmashCon was dope. It was very much smaller, and it did not feel like a regular SmashCon, which that's fine. SmashCon Fallfest was definitely not going to feel like a regular SmashCon. The homies were dope. We hung out a lot in like the bars. with like, you know, Hugs and like Judd and like the rest of the commentators and stuff. We played a lot of Nick All-Stars Brawl. The commentary was fun, even though like I haven't commentated in 4 in a while. That was a nice blast in the past. And overall, this event just felt nice. It was like a homey event, bro. It wasn't like, you know, it was definitely a major, but like it wasn't, you know, super packed. And I felt like everyone, you know, was really good about keeping their mask on. You know, we hung out. Well, I feel like just in general, like the atmosphere felt more grassroots than normal, and I felt like that was kind of nice, you know. So that's kind of where we're at with SmashCon. Yeah, the top 8 for Ultimate was amazing. Nick All-Stars Brawl top 8 was actually pretty hype. Melee's top 8 was actually pretty hype, regardless of not having like all these top players. Like, you know, it was still cool to see some like more underrepresented people get some dubs here. And yeah, man, Light winning, sick. Like, it was a great time. So would do it again. I don't know. I'm sure they're gonna bring back SmashCon regularly next year, but yeah, it was pretty fun. All right. What do you think about the tweets about events that don't have Leo being hype? I mean, I can see where people are coming from, because it's in that same vein where like you always feel like Leo's gonna win, but like it's nice to be able to see, like, with Leo and Tweak both being gone, there was just like a really big up for grabs area, and I'm sure a lot of people were expecting Esam to pop off, but he ended up getting like 17th. So, you know, go from Leo to getting 17th. Rip. Let's get into this last topic though. This is the one that I want to talk about the most. It's about Vikki. And all the fallout from that, which somehow still hasn't been this man has not tweeted since. But anyway, so check this tweet out, right? We got Slash Michael saying, love getting to hear Jordan, Kid, Vikki, and Supergirl's back on the mic for Nintendo Versus, right? Blur grabs it and says, hope the Nintendo money was worth it, shaking my head, right? I tell him firsthand that it is. I've got those Nintendo checks and they were great. We get the cosign from EE, and then we're called scabs. So, you know, with a political cartoon, okay? There's nothing lower than a scab, right? All right, cool, right? Vikki fires back, says, this is generally the most unprofessional take I've seen from you. And if you or Hugs want to talk more as to why I work with companies such as Nintendo, Blizzard, EA, then I'm happily engaged with you in both conversation. But to write something like this with you and Nintendo, when you and Nintendo hired me for Twitch partner events, seems hypocritical. And he says it's not 2017 anymore. The community's history with Nintendo is complex. The venture citing or good faith efforts to work with them despite that. They repaid that by shutting down Big House and more. You may want to go back to business per usual, but I certainly don't. To which then he gets blasted because he was kind of one of the people that actually helped actively kill PM. He says, weren't you being told by everyone around you in the community for years that it was false promises, and you can choose to turn a blind eye to that, and you chose to turn a blind eye to that. Those good faith efforts hurt non-Melee people in the scene. Now that Melee is the one getting screwed over, it's suddenly a problem. And then Vikki also comes back and says, you're someone who has been in the community for a long time. They were shutting down underground modded events way before your time at Twitch. When you agreed to host Nintendo X Twitch events, which again, you hired me for, you can go ahead and try to ignore these facts too. But to further enlighten you, I've expanded my own personal experience with multiple corporate gaming companies that have received backlash. As a freelancer, I have every right to accept gigs and do jobs that I'm hired to do, all while maintaining a professional relationship. I thought she had something else to say after that, but yeah, that's all true, right? So all that happens, right? Twitter goes, there's like a full-on war. We're called scabs for taking jobs, whatever, all that good stuff, right? And saying and told that we what are we? Oh, we're hurting the community by taking this Nintendo job. Now, this is how I see it, okay? First of all, you, who will never be in a position that I am, right, are not able to comfortably speak on what you would do in my position. Did you work for 7 years for free? Right? Did you work for 7 years for free? You know, little to no money game to finally get recognition and get like maybe $10 at your first event? Did you actively grow a scene in your area? Right? Did you actively grow a scene in your area the entire time? We built, me, Gimmer, J Caesar, VG Bootcamp, we built PM in Maryland, right? We continue to put on shows for Ultimate, all of that good stuff. I still commentate Melee, right? To get recognition from the company of a game that you've been commentating the entire time, of course I'm gonna take that gig, right? It's money that you will literally never see in Smash. And it sucks that the reason why you won't see that money happens to be sometimes Nintendo. But on the other side of things, it really do be the Smash community at times too. Let me tell you, the first time that I got paid for a Big House, I worked Big House 4, right? Top of my PM game, right? Top of my PM game. Wonderful top 8, right? I go over to Robin. I was like, hey man, is there any compensation for this event? Robin says, I don't really pay commentators, right? says I don't really see the need to pay commentators, right? You picked me for this job, and now you're saying I don't deserve money. What does that make sense, right? How does that make any sense whatsoever? Like, you picked me for the, if you're not gonna pay anybody, then put the mic out, right? This is my idea. If you don't want to pay anybody for the jobs that they've done, for the shit that they have that they've put up, right? For the crafts that they've honed, then put the mic out, right? And just let anybody hop on. Let anybody hop on. Because if you're gonna pick people, then obviously you need to like, then you need to give them a reason to come, right? Now, since then, obviously, he's had many talks with Gimmer, I guess, and they've like since then fleshed that out, and now he does pay commentators, but he's still kind of on the cheapskate side. So that was a thing, and this was like early in the career, right? This is well before all this shit happened with Nintendo, whatever, right? The whole time, there's a lot of times in the community where I feel like Melee has shafted the rest of the community, and they just choose to turn a blind eye about that because currently they're getting shafted. So like that one unit shit, right? That one unit shit had nothing about actually being solidified, right? We went from one unit to get Melee into to Evo, to Melee turning right back around and shitting it on everybody yet again, right? Melee, 21-year-old game, never gonna be stopped. Wonderful game, by the way. Not shitting on the game. Game is wonderful. Shitting on the community right now, right? So now that the shoe is, you know, the shoe is flipped, and they're kind of getting shafted by Nintendo, understandably upset. Get it, right? Now it's our job again to hold the weight that Melee, or to, I guess, hold the cross that Melee is bearing, right? And I just don't see why that's even a thing. I don't see why people who are working toward their livelihood, working toward advancing in their career area, should be getting chastised for doing such. I am a commentator, and I want to commentate as much as I can commentate. If I start getting bigger gigs for being recognized, of course I'm going to take them. It doesn't matter what it is. If I worked very hard in my area, and then I get approached by someone who is willing to offer the big bucks, unless that shit is like, the only way I feel like I would definitely turn Nintendo down is if they were like, hey, we're starting a circuit, right? We don't want you to do anything with the Smash community more unless it's about Nintendo. Then absolutely I would not take that, because I've grown in the scene. I've grown in the scene, right? This is the scene that I grew up with, right? So I'm never gonna leave the scene, but if I can add another source of revenue while still doing what I need to do in the scene, then of course I'm gonna do that. And Vikki is doing the exact same fucking thing, right? I got a large paycheck from Nintendo for working for 15 minutes. The likes you would never see in Smash. And it was wonderful. And you know what I did the next weekend? I went to a regular Smash tournament for much less and still enjoyed myself. So for these people in the Melee community, specifically Blur and anybody who's riding with him, For Blur to call anybody a scab whilst having the history that he has, one, is super hypocritical. And now, why you even listen to Blur in the first place is insane to me. I feel like that guy has been almost like Blur's been to me, he's like a meme for the longest time. But now, out of nowhere, people are like, oh, I ride with Blur because you ultimate commentators who we don't even fuck with in the first place are scabs for working with Nintendo, right? You Melee niggas don't give a fuck about us until y'all want to give a fuck about us. So like, why are you even talking to us right now, right? The reason why fucking Big House even got shut down was because of like Nintendo of Japan. And this is the other thing that I wanted to really get out about this stuff too. It's being mad at like the lowest rung for something that the CEO is doing, right? So it's like walking into Chick-fil-A and cursing out the cashier, right? For something that the CEO did. We don't have no control of what goes over Nintendo Japan. Nintendo Japan fucked up ass practices for sure. Nintendo of America, from talking to them, actually, they do want to do stuff with the Smash community. Nintendo Japan is not really about that, right? And that fucking sucks for us as a community. But the thing is, as a community, even without that help, we have definitely still managed to make this shit work the way that we needed to make it work. I genuinely love where we're at as a community. It sucks that sometimes we get shut down by Big N, but it's not Big N of America, it's Big N of Japan, and to take it out on everybody is really some bullshit, and you know it, right? Also, before you I'm getting a lot of shit off my chest. Before you decide to call anybody a scab, ask yourself, what have you done for the community? Right? What have you done? Because a lot of y'all probably, like a lot of the people that I see throwing stones probably never went to a tournament. You know? Probably never hosted anything. Probably never like subbed to anybody. You know? Probably just caught up in the hype, right? Right? Meanwhile, me, young TK Breezy, drove several hours to several tournaments to work for free, by the way. Don't forget that. Work for free, by the way. To put on the best show that I could put on, to help grow the scene where I lived, to help Gimmer with growing VG Bootcamp to be one of the largest streams of all time. Both things, by the way. I've definitely commentated a lot of Melee too. Before y'all forget that, I did commentate a lot of Melee, and I've helped pretty much every scene that I've been a part of. Now, I know the PM people will probably show up, but like, but you left PM. Listen, this is the thing about PM, okay? My hands are tied on that one, bro. My hands are tied on that one. 1 and 2. I always move on to the next game. I moved on from Brawl to PM when PM was out. I moved on to PM to Ultimate when Ultimate was out, or PM to 4 when 4 was out, and I moved on from 4 to Ultimate when Ultimate was out. I just like playing the new game. And that's just, but I've done my part in the scene. You know, I've done what I needed to do, and I'm still actively doing what I need to do. I'm now sitting here trying to make sure that people feel great. I still have a good time at events. I make sure that like any friends that I have with me at events are safe. I make sure that you know, we are getting into this new era, ushering this new area where we're like trying to become more of a, I guess, call out culture, and not a cancel culture. I just mean, like, I feel like if you see something, say something, right? Like if there's an issue to be had, if you see something like out the ordinary, you'd be like, hey man, like, everything good over here? Like, we're doing that. So it burns me up to see people who, like, the bottom line, I feel like it burns me up people to see people who have no skin in the game telling you what you should be doing, right? People who are never in the position that you'll be in telling you how to live your life. People who are acting like, first of all, you don't even know the fucking money that you get from a Nintendo event, but to act like turning down a Nintendo event, yes, I could turn it down, right? I could definitely turn it down and still live comfortably, right? But until Smash pays me in like even close to the rate that I get from Nintendo, which I'm not getting by anymore. Like, I'm fucking done with Nintendo. They like, I'm coming at you from the rate of where Vicky's at, because Nintendo don't even fuck with me no more. Like, I'm out. I'm probably blacklisted or whatever the fuck, right? They don't do nothing with me. But until you niggas can provide the same money, right, that they're doing, or you're in a position where you can actually turn that shit down, then shut the fuck up.
Gentlemen in the mix.
Right? You're not there. You'll probably never be there. You'll never put in the work to be there. You know? The way that you're trying to boycott just doesn't make sense. Half y'all sitting here talking about boycott Nintendo while sitting with a Switch in your room right fucking now. Right? But boycott Nintendo though, right? Fucking cornball shit, bro. So I don't like, I think that's the other thing, is like there is like there's no real plan in sight right now. People are just being mad at anybody who is somewhat connected to Nintendo in any way. But what are we going to do to actually make like waves? What are we going to do to actually make waves, right? The only wave that I ever remember making was that wave that we made to get Melee in to Evo. That is it. That is it. I've yet to see another wave outside of that. So I don't know, man. All this shit is misguided. Blur's a clown. Hugs, the thing about Hugs is that we actually talked to him like at the event, right? And he said he talked to Vikki and he understood. Like, he said he still feels the way he feels about Nintendo, but he feels the way that he went about it was incorrect. And you know what? For a man to be able to admit his mistakes like that, I'm gonna give Hugs 100% props, right? I'm gonna give Hugs 100% props for that. Like, he said, he had an idea. He talked to the person who he had the idea about, realized the error of his ways, and moved forward. Now, disliking Nintendo, great, understandable. Even I don't really like Nintendo at times, but taking it out on Vikki, and this is the part that burns me up the most, is that Vikki has dealt with the most shit in this fucking community for just existing, right? So now, Vikki in this point in time has no reason to give a fuck about any of you, right? To give a fuck about any of you, and what y'all think, about her, because all y'all have done is shit on her and make her life miserable, bro. Vikki had the shit that went on with the Toon Link player, y'all spent all that time free said Toon Link player, every time she was on the mic. She couldn't even look at the chat anymore. Whole time she was commentating, y'all were shitting on her for her commentary, right? Now, understandably, Vikki has gotten much better from like the very beginning, but this shit never stopped. It never stopped. Like, she's a wonderful commentator. She's been a wonderful commentator for at least the last 3-4 years, and shit never fucking stopped, right? Why? Was that the thing? I'm sure half of it is because she's a woman, and even if you don't want to believe that, I want to talk about the fact that there's commentators that say way less and stupider shit than she has ever said, and y'all eat that shit up, right? So, Vikki doesn't know you guys shit. And for y'all to try to come at her neck after already coming at her neck when she was trying to be part of the community is super fucked up. It's super fucked up. And until you realize how fucked up that is, we have no discussion to be had. There's no discussion for us to have. There's no discussion to be had. Almost everybody who came at Vikki's neck at some point in time needs to apologize to Vikki straight up, in my opinion, bro. You know, you can fucking hate Nintendo all you want, but there's no reason she should have ever been under fire this weekend. And if you don't agree with that, then fuck you. That's the end of the line for me, bro. Like that's where I'm at. So, bottom line is, you know, fuck Nintendo every day that they decide to, like, you know, actively ruin the community. But what have we done since then? We have persevered, right? We still have wonderful Melee tournaments, wonderful Ultimate tournaments, wonderful multi-game Smash tournaments, right? But if Nintendo decides to give someone a bag, let them make that fucking bag, bro. Vikki actually being in the office with these niggas could be beneficial. You don't even fucking know. Maybe she's over there trying to figure out a way to get in the community to work with Nintendo, you know? And I mean, let's not forget fucking last year. Why the fuck would anybody want to work with us anyway after everything that just came out last year? Did y'all forget? Nintendo was probably had their foot in the door thinking maybe this is the right time to do shit. And then last year, fucking crazy, bro. Did y'all forget? Anyway. That's where I'm at. I know I sound a little more like, if you're watching this on YouTube, I know I sound a little more upset, but Vikki's my friend. I love her to death. And seeing the shit that she's had to deal with, throughout her time in the Smash community is so sad. I remember one of the times that it really like hit me, and one of the times this is when I feel like I knew that like I rode for Vikki forever. We went to Full Bloom, right? And we commentated top 8. I like to have the chat open because chat loves me. I'm fucking TK Breezy. Y'all love it, whatever, right? I'm amazing, wonderful, great commentator. I do what I do well, but I'm also a dude, so y'all just gonna go ahead and love me anyway, right? She had the chat open too and realized people were coming at her for saying correct things. She could say the same shit I was saying. We could swap script and y'all would eat her ass live while... Maybe not eat her ass alive. Let's not use that. You know what I'm saying? Y'all would eat her up alive whilst giving me all the praise. Editor, edit that shit out. Please edit that out. Anyway, so it's just that was the moment that I realized it doesn't matter what she does. Y'all will continue to shit on her for absolutely no reason outside of the fact that she's a woman. I said half, it's more like 90%. So I love Vikki. She's a wonderful person. I'm gonna ride for her until the day I die. But I'm gonna say right here, that's the end of topic talk, man. If y'all have any things that y'all want to put in on this, definitely put it in the comments below. To Blur, until you apologize to Vikki, big fuck you. I'm gonna say that shit. You need to apologize to Vikki immediately, bro. If I see you tweeting about anything else while trying to put this under the rug, I'm going to tweet directly at you, bro. You need to apologize to Vikki. And Supergirl Kells. I left Supergirl Kells out of this because she actually is a newer commentator. But the fact that she got shit for this as well, it's fucked up. If you don't apologize to Vikki, I'm going to continue to call you out until you do it. So that's Topic Talk, boys. If you guys love what you've heard, if you have any issues to what you heard, put it in the comment below, man. People will argue with you. I might not, but people will. And with that being said, I'll see you guys next week for another Topic Talk. Peace.